Welcome to the Game Hacking Dojo. Today I'm going to show you how to tackle the time in Resident Evil 4 Remake to get S rank no matter what. First, I'm going to explain how the timer works, since it's not very straightforward and it took me about 3 days to tackle down. And if that tells you anything, it tells you how much they have tried to make it sneaky. But hey, not me. Just before we start, the timers are named what I found more suitable. Here we have a timer that counts the total in-game time session regardless if playing or not. It starts the moment you launch the game and stops the moment you close the game, and it can be found in the results page. The second one, total played time, counts total playtime including pause time. Starts from the moment we start a new game or load a save. The third one, pause time, counts only the time while paused in the menu. And now onto the last one, last save played time is the actual played time of the save we loaded from. I think now by explaining what each one is, I have already explained half of the trick. So let's dive deeper and see how they come up with the timer. The game counts for the time spent playing including pause time. Additionally, this timer's starting point is the last save played time, or 0 if you are starting a new game. That tells us that the actual played time is calculated by subtracting last save played time and pause time from total played time. Now that we know how it works, let's go and find it and write some scripts. Now let's start with the practical part. However, I have to mention that this one is pretty tough for beginners. Absolutely so tough, even for non-beginners. But I'm still going to provide an easy way to tackle the time. But also I'm going to provide the master's way, or the complex way. So let's get started. First, you've guessed it, that we're going to search for the pause time, since that's the one that we can actually control. And here we're going to find an unknown initial value, and we're going to change this from 4 to 8. Just for this one, it's going to make it faster. Because it's actually an 8-byte value, but because it's easier for us to read, it's easier to set this to 4 bytes. Okay, let's go back to the game and pause. Now here I'm going to use hotkeys to search for increased value, and also I have to mention that you should always keep this pause the game while scanning checked. Anyway, we go back to the game, increased, 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 increased. Now we've got way fewer results with 11,000. Now we go back to the game, we unpause, we say increased, and then unchanged, 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 and increased, 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 because unpaused. Okay, let's go back to the game and hit increased. Now we also go to the inventory, open the inventory and close the inventory. Oh no, just hit unchanged and then close the inventory, also unchanged, because this timer doesn't change while we're actually in the inventory. It only changes, it only ticks once we are in the pause menu. Now we have like whittled them down to this much, and I'm not sure which one of these it is, but I'm pretty sure these are not the ones. So we can try with this or this. Let's see. So how do we know? Let's go back to the game. Now we have 4 minutes here. If we see a weird number, like that isn't 4 minutes, we're expecting, if we unpaused now and repaused to get 4 minutes and 1 second or 4 minutes and 2 seconds. But let's see what happens if we go to cheat engine and change one of these. These are ticking, so let's go for 0 here, go back to the game, and we have 4 minutes. Now here we still have 4 minutes and it's moving normally. So let's go to this and change this to 0. We delete this one as well. Go back to the game, on pause. Now you see it jumped from 4 minutes to 5 minutes and 38 seconds. Well, this one is actually then the pause time. So what we do is we change this to pause time. I don't know if whatever. So yeah, pause time, I've called it. Okay, so now we browse the memory region at this location. We change the display type from whatever it is, it's byte hex. We change it to 8-byte decimal. So now we scroll a bit up, we find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all these are ticking. We add all of them. Now we go here, add, and now we have to sort them in order. What do I mean by order? I mean by they have to start from low to high. So now which one is higher? Is 7B8 higher than 7D8? No, it's lower, so it stays here. And we put this, okay, this goes here, and this stays here. Okay, they seem like we can delete this since we have another one of it, this one. So let's delete this one. Okay, now we have to find out which one is the total play time and which one is the in-game or the total in-game time. So let's go to results, and we have here this number ticking. So oh wait, I actually have messed up something. I forgot. This was the pause time. Okay, now yeah, let's go to the game, and we see here that we have this kind of number. This is what I've called the total in-game time. So let's go and find it within these. All right. Oops. Yep. Let's go and find it within these ones. So let's get this to 0. Let's go back here, and we see that it's actually zeroed. Anyway, so this one we call it now. Call the first one total in game time, and we don't know what this one is. We're gonna find out. Now let's go back to the game. Now here we have in the game we have 5 minutes and 38 seconds. We go back, same thing, nothing crazy has happened. Now we go back to cheat engine and change this one, change it to 0. Let's go back to the game and see what happens. Now we see this jump to a crazy number because the game is trying as hard as possible to punish people who are trying to manipulate the timer. Anyway, we're going to tackle that. So we're going to call this, so we're going to call this total played time. We have to find out what accesses each of them, and this one, and this one. Now we also pause, and we have some of these guys populating, and then we can unpause if we want. I'm gonna keep it paused. Now let's go back. Now let me show you something. Let me show you a trick. Now if I go here and change these, all of these, into 0. Yeah, 0. Now let's go back to the game and go and see the time is actually now 0. So we have accomplished the trick. But hey, wait. The game will actually find out once you have reached the like the end of the chapter. The game is going to find out whether you actually have manipulated the time or not, and it's also, if it finds out that you've manipulated the time, it's going to punish you with the highest punishment possible. So what do we do? Okay, so first we have to see what's happening around these. Let's now stop these and let's see what's happening around these instructions. Now first we're going to find out that we have this one. We have a bunch of things here. We also can show disassembler at this location. We have this. They are very close to each other. We can see this. Okay, good. Now I'm gonna show you the easy trick so you don't have to follow so much of assembly if you're a beginner. So you see this here, maybe this one, yeah. This one or this one would lead you to this little function. This one. Now, if you see something like this, you come to this location where you find this guy, and you find out what accesses this. Find out what addresses this instruction accesses, and then this would pop up. Then you just double click it, put it in your cheat table, change the value type by just clicking on the type, and change this to double. Now you get this number, which is crazy. Now you see the time now is like 1 minute and 36 seconds. Now let's go back. Oh wait, sorry, you didn't see that. Now you see the time that is 1 minute and 36 seconds, right? Now let's go back to Cheat Engine and put this to maybe, let's decrease it. Let's copy it first and decrease this by 2 zeros. Let's go back and let's go back to the game. Now you see this number. Now let's wait for a bit. What happened? Look, it's not changing. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Anyway, I'm going to explain this. This actually is the fraction of time. So if you increase it, the time will actually go faster, and if you decrease it, the time will go slower. And you've guessed it, if I put minus here, the time would go even in the opposite direction. So I'm going to delete the time this way. So let's go back. What's happening? Yeah, you see, it was like 36, now it's 33. Oh, sorry. Now, yep, 31, 27, and there you go. So this one is an easy trick that you could use, and it's pretty good. Also, what's so good about this trick, I'm gonna put it to almost normal. I'm gonna keep it slow a bit. What's so good about this trick is that this value is going to stay as it is every time you open the game. So you don't have to write any scripts. As long as you copy to clipboard but opcodes only, and then you add address manually and you paste what you've copied and you delete the brackets and the brackets here and everything behind the brackets. So we got it right. Yes. Now you change this to double and you put this to like time fraction and you're good to go. Now what you can do is just manipulate this however you like, and every time you open the game it's going to stay the same. It's going to work. For this one it's not going to work because we copied this one is just hard coded without the base address and the offset, and anyway, if you don't understand that, it's fine. So but you have to copy it this way to get it to work every single time. Anyway, and now we don't need this beginner solution. We are into the complex solution. What do? We find out this location here, we check it out, and then we write a script right here because actually this is being accessed. This is accessing this and this. Oh wait, what? Accessing this and this. Oh no, here, yeah. So we have this one and this one accessing both of these, the pause time and the time played. Now we're gonna come to that later, the in-game time, because that's also necessary. What I actually forgot to mention is that the in-game time, if it goes lower than the total played time, then you're also going to be punished. Now let's put this to 0 and go to the game. We're not punished. I don't know. Well, I think anyway, who cares? But now let's write the script. First of all, we're going to use 14-byte jump because in this game it's way more advised to use 14-byte jumps since this game has a huge file size. We go move here, we move zeros to all of these. Be careful that you actually write to the second one, not the first one, because the first one is actually getting the address. So it's writing RDX plus 20 to RAX, and then from RAX they are dereferencing RAX plus 30, and that's how they are getting the address. So don't write to the first one, write to the ones under it. We go 0 here because otherwise you're going to crash your game, which is something you're probably used to. Anyway, let's write zeros here, and I think we're probably fine. I'm gonna change this ridiculous number to something like maybe 128. And also when you're writing 0, you should write a Q word PTR, okay, to all of these things, to all of them. Why? Because this number is an 8-byte number that if you write like 0 without putting anything here, it's going to write a D word, which is 4-byte number, so it's not going to cover the entire address. We're not done yet. Now we're done with this. We're going to go to this location where we found this thing. Oh no, not this. So We had this, and now this. Do we have to? I think we do. Anyway, we can do that. We can just not do that uh, because one is enough, and the one that is ticking all the time is the one that we need. So this is only accessed once we open the menu, and this one is ticking all the time. So I think this would suffice. Um, Now we go to put it to the cheat table. We run it, and hopefully we don't crash the game. 0 time. Let's crash, and it didn't crash. Okay, now look what we've got. We've got the punishment, which is pretty expected. So, what do? We have here the first one, that the total in-game time, and we also have to nullify this one. How do we do that? We have seen this one here that is being accessed here, and it's also using the same thing. We could just write 0 to it here, since it's always being accessed here. We could do it here, since it's also being accessed all the time here. We can do it here, or we can do it here. Just feel free to do it wherever you want. However, I found that if you actually look at them, they are very close in memory, so you can find out where this is, and subtract them from each other, and find and write to this one from actually this script that we just made. So what we can do is wait, so this one was 7d8. We copy this, we go to the calculator, and we go hex, paste the bigger one, minus, then we copy the smaller one, we paste, and we get 20. Now we know that the first one's offset is 18. Now we have to subtract 18 from 20 to know where actually this address is relative to this one, to the RAX. So we have to get this 20 minus 18, and we get 8. Now let's go to this script we made. We don't have to do that. Do this. We copy this last one and paste another one here, and we change the 18 to change it to 08 or 8, doesn't matter, and then the plus to minus. We OK, and then turn the script on, and this will happen. We actually have zeroed the in-game time. So now let's go to the game and pause it, see what happens. Now we also get the same thing. We also get the same punishment. But now believe me, if I uncheck, or if I deactivate my script now, the time is always going to tick from 0. Look. Now let's go back. It's going to tick from 0. Now it's 0. Oh wait, I changed the fraction of time, so it's going to take some time to actually increase. Let me get it back to normal. Now you get 2. See? Why did that happen? Well, simply because let's now activate the script. Simply to do that, we're going to close these because they are kind of useless. Now what we're interested in is the total playtime. We see what accesses this, and then we close the pause menu, and then we open it again, and this one pops up. Now this is interesting. We're going to show disassembler, and then we found that this is the one that is being accessed. Well, this was close to where we have injected our script, but this is being accessed, and it's actually zeroed because we have written 0 here to it. Yeah. So let's go back, and to see what's happening, let's put break and trace instruction here. Break and trace instructions. Anyway, I can't read sometimes. We do these, blah blah blah. Okay, and now let's trace it. We can stop this because it's now useless. Let's go back to the game and pause. Now this is going to break and trace and do the stuff, and let's go to see what's calling it. We see this guy is calling it. Cool. Okay, let's see the other one before it and see what's happening here. Okay, cool. We see this guy. So actually it doesn't matter, but what I have found, I'm going to help you now, is that if you just nop this jump, if you're a perfectionist and you like to see zeros, you can just nop this jump, and yes, and then go to the menu, and you're not going to see this number ever again. Well, not really. We're going to see it one more time, but let's go. And there we go. We've got zeros just because we've knopped that. So what happened is the game is checking if the time is 0, then just put it to that highest number ever possible. So we have to hook here, we have to change this jump. This is one thing. You can also do this here and put a break and trace here. You have to finish the chapter and see what is going to access this one, and make sure you don't pause within this thing, within the procedure. So just finish the chapter and see what's calling this, and there you could find out what is right into the chapter's time, because that's the most important. You actually everything we have done right now is useless compared to the chapter's results. But without doing what we've done, we can't get to the actual number. So yep, let's speed up the thing.
This is the future.
Here we come back to the game, we come back to cheat engine, and it broke. If we go to the game, we're actually going to see that number that I told you we're never going to see. So there you go. And that's because the game detects that we have manipulated the time, so it's going to punish us. I guess it's somewhere here. I remember the code. Yes, okay. So here we go. It's so simple. Pretty simple. It's actually this one. This is what's writing to your thing. If you change this number to just 0, you're going to get it. Or it's actually possible to do it from multiple places. It needs a lot of reverse engineering to find out how they are coming up with these things. And yes, I just have to tell you how the thing works because, yeah, otherwise it's going to take us a few days to unravel this thing. And hopefully you have learned something. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.